Hey friends, today we are going to see three games. The first game is between Zuckertot and No Name 1887. Let's start the game. The game started e4. Now, well, this here or this here. Obviously, in that time, e5 was certainly the best and best regarded and main move. Knight c3. The Vienna variation, not that popular, like bishop c4. Ooh. What am I doing? I'm completely fool. Well, had a brain freeze. No bishop c4, no bishop b5. First knight f3 is the main line, and there's also d4, e4, c3, dc3, bishop c4, cb2, bishop b2. The Danish, some gambit lines, but why? Yeah, knight f3 best. So knight c3, knight f6, f4, d6, and then this reaches. Oops. Is this the Frankenstein? No, this is the Vienna game, Vienna variation. Where's the Frankenstein Dracula? Okay. This is the Frankenstein Dracula variation in the Vienna. I am not sure where it is, but it occurs like some f4 type of fashion. e6 and here like f4. No idea, but there is like certainly f4, and then there's this Frankenstein Dracula variation there. So knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop g4, short castle, bishop e7, d3 and h5. Everything is developing moves here. Let's turn this off, and then here d e5, f e5 also good, also logical, but knight h5 in the previous was a disaster, a disastrous move, a utter disaster. Why, you may ask? You have a good question and I have a very good answer. After knight h5 there comes the immediate tactic bishop into f7 check, king into f7, and then knight g5 check. You were right. King e8 and then queen into g4 attacking the h5. And here now targeting the knight, and the knight will go back, but black has lost castling and we are just a pawn of war. Don't care. In the game f e5 was played with the engine. It doesn't say it's bad, but yeah, immediate tactic is better, and now black should give a pawn with short castle. But black was like, okay, nice. Guys, what do I have to do with it? Let's just take knight e5. Well, let's say knight h5 was mistake. Let's say getting a pawn off, and after f e5, knight e5 is a blunder. See, now let's go. Here comes the amazing tactic. First, after d5, what would happen? d5 comes bishop f7, king f7, and now knight e5 check, king e8, and now queen into g4. And now the thing is that, not queen into, knight into g4, and now the thing is that now black has lost castling, black's king is exposed, and white is 2 pawns up. So this is complete disaster. Knight into e5 was more big disaster, because after knight into e5, brilliant move, sacrificing the whole queen, but very deep. Bishop into d1, bishop into f7 check. This is just lost, as after bishop into h5 check, king g8 was forced, but bishop f6. Yeah, now it's much bad, because after Rook into f6, g into f6. Yeah, after rook into f6 check, g into f6 was an additional mistake. But now after bishop h6, king e7, knight d5 check, king e6, bishop f7, king into e5, c3. Black resigned because d4. Bishop f4 mate is in like you can't avoid bishop f4 mate. Anything you play, bishop f4 is mate. So that's why black resigned. Let's go to the next game. Bonaparte versus Remusat 1804. Let's start the game with white plays Napoleon Bonaparte. So let's start the game. The game started knight c3. Well, one thing for you to remember, this is 1821. So do not be offended by the amazing opening white played. Yeah. So e5, knight f3, and now d6, e4, f5, h3, fe4, knight e4, knight c6, knight fg5. So now why is Indian every time such a hater? Knight fg5, Indian says that it's a blunder. After d5, queen h5 check was played, g6, queen f3. Wow, and look what a nice move black played. Black played the most amazing move you have ever seen. Black played knight h6. I think there should be 2 blunder marks, but only there's one. Like, this is such a big mistake. Not even a beginner would miss knight f6 check. Okay, don't. We'll not get mad. It's just the 1821 chill. But this is a terrible mistake. Bishop f5 should be played. Now the thing is that if you move the knight, g5 is lost. Yeah. So that's why queen b3. Now the cunning tactic, if you take on here, then f7 is mate. So knight d4 and then queen b7 take. Bishop e7 first. Now c3, let's say. Rook b8, queen into a7, knight c2 check, king d1, knight into e1, queen e5, rook a8, queen b5 check, bishop d7. Now let's say queen b7, d into e4, and white position in utter chaos. White can't do anything. So this is the baddest thing this can happen. So after knight h6, here came knight f6 check, king e7, knight d5 check, and king e8 was good, but king d6 was a blunder because after knight e4 check, king into d5 was such a bad move in the game. Oh my god, what? Yeah. Now bishop c4 check, amazing move. King into c4, queen d3 check, king d4, and queen d3 mate. Well, so white did a blunder, then black did a blunder, and then the game eventually ended in white's favor. This game is between Stennis and Rock 1863. Stennis is rook odds, playing rook odds. So let's start the game pretty quick. Game started e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5. Here the main evaluation of the position would be like 0 plus 0.3, but you will notice something strange that 7 minus 7.0, what's bad? And you notice you have a rook down, e4, e5, and here b4, and then c3. And now bishop a5, d4, ed4, short castle, and then now knight f6 was played. Here bishop a3. Now f8 square is taken and black cannot short castle, so bishop b6 back. Queen b3, And now d5, such a big blunder. You will not notice something, but soon you will see. E d5, now knight e5, toppling things over things. Now here comes rook e1 check. And now the engine says this also is a blunder. After bishop e6, d e6. Best move is knight c4, complete engine move, but this is the only move you can do. But in the game this happened, but very sadly. Knight into b3 took, and then complete blunder after ef7, king d7, bishop e6 check, king c6, knight e5 check, king b5, bishop c4 check, king a5, bishop b4 check, king a4, and a into b3 is a beautiful checkmate at the edge of the board. So this was the three amazing games. I hope you guys don't forget to hit the subscribe icon. Thank you.